Flowey, there have been too many lies and hidden truths already. Had Sans not kept it secret, he can remember the resets, things would be different. Same with you revealing your past to him. He revealed his secret. Flowey, maybe it's time to reveal yours. Just make him swear he will remain calm.
Ask Sans if he remembers the tale of the royal children, and the tragedy that befell them and the entire kingdom as consequence. The tale that led to the kill all humans rule. The tale that led Frisk to having to face Asgore as the last soul required to shatter the barrier. The tale that resulted in one of the royal children coming back and shattering the barrier himself after being resurrected into a heart-wrenching existence of lacking a soul.
Sans,
Flowey, Sans's trust took a long time and a lot of little things to destroy. This is not the sort of problem that can be simply fixed and forgotten with a single gesture, no matter how grand. It's going to take time and effort to fix, but I believe you can bring him around.
I know it's not fair, but if you truly want this, you're going to have to show you have learned some patience and simply persevere in the face of this adversity.
Huh?
Listen, Flowey, you don't need to tell Sans if you don't want to. I and many other people know you're not him anymore, so why should you have to worry about it? Don't tell him if you're uncomfortable with it.
If you decide to tell him, make sure it is because you want to. Simply telling him because we say to, or because you expect to be a quick fix for your problems isn't right. Deep down, you already know that much, don't you?
I want to tell you something.
What?
But you have to promise not to tell anyone or get upset.
If you hurt someone, you already know what I'm gonna...
It's not that!
Fine, what is it?
Say it. Please.
I promise, alright?
Okay. I wanted to tell you the truth about who I am. Well, was. I know it's hard to believe, but the dust Alphys used was...
Go ahead, Flowey, it's okay.
I used to be someone important. I was...
Don't stop now, okay? If you want to say it, just say it.
My name was ASRIEL DREEMURR. Sans?
What was she thinking? Why would she just...
Flowey, please don't get mad about Alphys, okay? She had good intentions.
Good intentions? Alphys what?
Shh! You can't be screaming about this in the house. Look, your guests probably got a lot to say. Let's get it over with. I know I'm gonna regret this. Alright, not sure how you work, but I guess I'm summoning or allowing you to ask me about the Alpha timeline. The plant needs a break from whatever you call help. Anyway, so, yeah.
Wait, why do you want to talk to us? I thought you hated us.
I still hate you, but I know you're probably asking him things he can't answer.
Sans, I know it may not seem like it, but we do try to help. Some of us just go too far sometimes. A lot of us encourage Flowey and give him gummy worms and other stuff he likes. You see that octopus plushie he carries around? We gave that to him. Not to mention that time we handed you ketchup. So we're not all bad. Oh, and thank you for allowing us to ask you things. It must be quite hard for you.
This isn't your redemption arc, so ask me something or I'm leaving.
Not sure that has to do anything with the Alpha timeline, but you know about different timelines. Are you aware that there is some kind of shapeshifter made of determination in a seemingly empty underground who's searching for the main timeline using Gaster's tech?
For the love of... I said about the Alpha timeline, not alternate realities.
Okay, so, what was Alpha Papyrus like? Flowey told us a little bit, but you were his brother and seemed to have a better memory than Flowey anyway.
What?
How, different was he from your papyrus from the one in this timeline? Because, I mean, from what I've seen, your papyrus were different clothing than this one in this timeline, and acts a bit different as well.
Well, he was pretty different, but his goal was still the same. Pappy wanted to have people notice him and do what was right. So cool.
What exactly were you in the Alpha Sans? Some kind of scientist or lackey?
Sure is a lack of thought if you think I'd ever be a good lackey. I worked in the lab. I enjoyed it too. I was a botanist, studied plants.
A botanist? Oh wow. I know a little bit about botany, and, well, I guess that explains why we keep finding you here.
Just stick to questions, alright?
What was Alphys like? I mean, from what Flowey has said and what we have seen, she seemed, well, not that nice of a person. At least to Flowey.
She acted like she was. Played us.
So, was it in character for Alphys to try doing that? Experimenting with dust?
Yeah, Alpheus was the type who'd steal research if she thought it would help her progress, so jumping to dust experimentation ain't a stretch for her.
What were her motives in the determination experiments? If you don't know what I'm going on about, then sorry for confusing you.
Fame, glory, attention, take your pick.
What on earth was she trying to do?
I can't say for sure, but I could say it wasn't great.
So we don't exactly know the identity of the lab rat. Mind explaining who they were and what they did?
A lab rat? Wait, how'd you know about that? It's just a nickname Pappy came up with for Alpheus since he hated, well, as much as he could hate her. He called it her villain name. Thought it would help me get justice for when she stole my work. But I guess the king didn't listen, or he did, and it doesn't matter now.
Wait, he hated her? Papyrus has never hated anyone before.
Of course he did. She kept trying to use the plant for experiments even after we took him in. Called her the true villain of the underground. To her face, of course.
Ooh. I can just see the nefarious nature in that oh-so-innocent little smile of hers. It makes me so mad. I bet she even went and used one of your lab flowers to make Flowey, didn't she, Sans?
She did, but how do you know the smile I was thinking of?
It's complicated. Sometimes we see things, dreams, memories. We don't really have any control over it.
That's creepy. What, do you watch people sleep too?
One of them said that they watched you sleep, but before they even started talking to you. It's weird. They're weird. I can't stop wondering how many people they just watch sleep. I know they have watched me a few times, but I don't understand why they would do that. Do they just not sleep? Can they not sleep? Is this how they get their kicks? I mean, they name universes, so I guess this is...
Bud, don't worry about it.
But what if...
Flowey, you could have... Oh, well, I guess no. You couldn't really just ask us if you were that
upset. Hey, you're dealing with me now, so leave him out of this. So ask me a question or get out. Guess you finally learned how to hold your trap.
Is Halfy's a better person in this timeline? Or is he the same as the Alpha?
Or not. Yeah, L's different. Look, I'll make it easy for you. If your questions start out with, if X was different then, the answer is yes.
So, in the Alpha, what was Gaster to you? Colleague, father, brother, uncle?
I told you last week, he's mine and Pap's older brother. I worked with them both at the Corps.
Did you still live in Snowden back then? Or did you live somewhere else?
I grew up in Snowden after the war. But in this timeline, mine and Pap's move was recent.
Did Gaster have any illnesses?
What?
Like ones that decrease the magic use. Headaches, etc.
None that I can think of.
Also, who was stronger in the fight? I'm really interested in magic stats.
I don't know.
Was Gaster good friends with Asgore?
Jesus worked for the guy. Not sure if he'd call them friends.
Have you ever tried going back to the Alpha timeline? Or tried to find Gaster?
Yeah. You can't force resets.
Sounds like you've time traveled before. Is that related to the machine in your old workshop back in Snowden?
How did you know?
How did that work out?
It didn't. Otherwise, G would.
You really want your brother back, huh? I can understand. My brother and I despise each other, but somehow if one of us is in desperate need, we stand up for each other. Gaster, however, is different in many ways. In some timelines, he's your father, your arch nemesis, or not even related.
These ain't timelines. Those are alternate realities.
What's the machine in the lab behind your house in Snowden supposed to do?
It was supposed to bring me back before
How long did it take you to adjust to this timeline? I mean, it must have been hard if everything is different from the Alpha timeline, right? Did Flowey never tell you who he really was, even in the Alpha timeline? Is there a way that Frisk could rewrite this timeline? Was Undyne the Royal Guard in the Alpha timeline? Sans, in the Alpha, how exactly were things before all the experiments?
I sort of think I know the answer to that, but I figured I'd ask. Because I know you'll be asking first. Can you remember truly? I'll go with this. Also, is there a way to restore as that in the Alpha timeline? And Gasters?
Frisk already
Who's
knows
avoiding
everything about
time
her.
travel and
I'm not sure
resets?
if you're
How
aware
precisely do
that
resets work
Frisk
anyway?
tried to help him.
You seem very
Hasn't
defensive of
used
Flowey
it
now that
yet.
you've learned who he really is. Did you meet him and his sibling before they died?
I swear to God, I can't answer your questions if you all talk over each other. Honestly, the three of you should just take turns. It's not giving me a headache already. So
What
just
was
pick
Gaster
some.
like?
If you really want to know, fine. Let's talk about G. He was a pretty smart guy. Had to be the royal scientist, but sometimes I felt like the goof would have enjoyed his bacon or knitting more than the paperwork. But he was a bit messy. Not like me, more of the controlled chaos kind.
Sounds like a very good brother.
Yeah.
Sans, you do have a nice smile. I'd like to see it more often.
I ain't gonna smile for you.
I just meant that, I want you to be happy.
Sure.
I can say your smile is ugly if you want.
Thanks.
If in the Alpha timeline you were a botanist, how much time has passed before you started working as a sentry? What made you change jobs?
A week. And I refused to work under Al. After the first timeline, it just became a routine.
Sans, do you know who Kara is?
Who doesn't?
Did you know ASRIEL at all? Did you ever meet him as ASRIEL?
Huh? Not really.
Awkward question, but did Undyne have any sort of relationship with Alphys? Do they hang out at all? Platonically?
Assuming you mean an Alpha, so no. Undyne never even met Alpheus. Even if she did, it was probably just for that plaque.
A plague? What plague?
An award for her advancements in technology and science. Undyne always had to give them out. Undyne was still a bit of a nerd, if that's what you're trying to figure out.
Ooh! Follow up on that. What was Alpha Undyne like? How well did you know her? Was she close to anyone else?
She wasn't the type for relationships, but she did manage to. Actually, let's skip that.
Sans, I do hope you don't hold a grudge against Alphys of this timeline. While she did create Flowey and turn of events as well, it was not out of selfishness or recognition. She was simply too
I
precious
don't
for
hate Al. She ain't like the lab rat, alright? But she did make him because she wanted more funding. Not exactly the best reason.
Sans, what do you think of Alphys using ASRIEL's dust to create Flowey?
I know she didn't get their permission to use his dust, which means she was desecrating graves to get it.
What about Habstabuk? I mean, if it weren't for Alphys, then that's how.
No more questions. I'm done.
If you could see Gaster one last time, what would be the first things you would say to him?
I'm sorry. The guest room should be done by now.
Guest room? Whoa! You recreated his room? I don't under...
We had a third bedroom, it only made sense. Wait, why isn't your stuff in here?
Where's Papyrus?
Sans?
No.
What?
No. Papyrus, what are you doing in here?
Oh, there you are, Sans. I'm just putting down the last part of Flowey's setup.
I can see that, Paps. But why in your room?
Paps probably just got so excited to have you here that he forgot this isn't a sleepover. Maybe he just put it all in his room.
Frisk said it would be best to have him in my room while he stays with us.
I get that, but...
Don't worry, Sans. I, the Great Papyrus, know it'll be fine. So now that we're all set here, Flowey and I can start dinner while you go do your check at the greenhouse.
We were just at the greenhouse, so I could...
You took Flowey to the greenhouse? Sans, Frisk and I were planning on surprising Flowey with all of those flowers for his...
What? The kid never told me about this.
What? But Frisk told me that you knew about our plan!
Oh, this is news to me, Paps. Kid just said it was for showing the others humans our culture, you know?
I see. How much did he see?
Just the front room.